to Chicago, where the fire serve cold, but the Wolves and the Hawks never shiver in the snow. The Bulls keep it running, the Sox run the South, the Cubs run the North, but the Bears run the house. True Chicago sports fans got their ears to the street. Any team make a move and they never skip a beat. And in this house, this is where we be. Welcome to the show with E-Rock and Big Z.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the True Chicago Sports Fan Cave, this is the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z. Episode 92 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Great Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to greatclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official TCSF shirts now. As always, I am Big Z, and E-Rock is out for assignment, and he'll be back in a couple of weeks. So what's going on, people? What's going on? This week has been a crazy week, starting off with a home opener for the Chicago White Sox, going out there, hanging out in the concourse, being able to hang out with people in the tailgate. It was amazing, as usual, for the White Sox home opener. And then able to get on my bowling shoes on Wednesdays now over at Diversity over there with Magic and my guy Louie, getting to roll them balls over there. So we had a great time. I mean, this week has been action-packed because it's been nothing but sports. So there's been a lot of stuff going on, and we're going to get into it pretty soon. But first, if you're a first-timer or a long-timer, please remember to hit that subscribe button, that notify button, and go ahead and give us a review on your listening app of choice. You can find us on Facebook at True Chicago Fans. You can find us on Twitter at True Chi Fans, and on IG as True Chicago Sports Fans. Don't forget to support the show with a monthly subscription on anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there and click on support, and you can subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month. Do you like the show? I hope so. Are you a fan? I know you guys are. Tell your friends, and they'll tell their friends, and then we can all be friends. So support your friends, man. Support your friends in all their business adventures. Today, we're going to talk about our baseball teams in 3 up and 3 down. How is their season going? Is it up? Is it down? Are your expectations dwindling? Are you getting super excited for the season? I mean, the Sox are at this point 6-3. The Cubs are 5-4. So are you okay with where they're at? We'll talk about more in 3 up and 3 down. In the loop, we'll talk about the Blackhawks honoring one of their own. The Bulls come up short in Game 1 of playoffs, and what adjustments are needed. All that and stirring the pot and what you looking at. But first, this is the Big 3 with Big Z. All right, guys, I'm Big Z, and you're not. Now for today's stories. All right, story number 1. Oh boy, people are going to flip out on this one. A class of kindergartners accidentally drank tequila during a snack time at a Michigan school. Man, I wish my snack time was that good. All right, so a kindergarten class in Michigan actually drank tequila during snack time. A student brought in Jose Cuervo's ready-to-drink margaritas, and the children thought it was juice. Yeah, Jesus juice, that's for sure. One of the kids said they felt woozy and a little dizzy after having 4 or 5 sips. The parents said, man, that kid is not a quitter. Oh, man. This is wild. 7 students drank it. One kindergarten told you that he felt woozy, and they were drinking out of a Dixie cup. The kindergartners who drank out of the margaritas told their parents they thought it was juice, but the kindergartner who initially brought the drink knew it was an alcoholic. So this dude, or this kid, because you don't know, it doesn't say if they're a boy or girl, intentionally brought tequila. They're like, well, mommy and daddy drink this, or somebody in their house drinks it, and then let's have some fun and have some of these kindergartens drink it. This is just wild. So I wonder what's gonna happen to the parents, because how do you sneak out a big old bottle of ready to mix margaritas out of the house? I mean, these kids don't have a big book bag or don't even carry a book bag as it is. This is insane. All right, story number 2. Oh boy, Terrell Owens still got it. He last played in the NFL 12 years ago, and he caught a touchdown pass in his fan-controlled football league debut this past Saturday, going up in the corner of the end zone to haul on a throw from Laquan Horton. Owens plays for the Zappers, a team that counts Vikings running back Dalvin Cook and Mets pitcher Trevor May as among his owners. His score came in at the last play of the game, didn't affect the outcome. But it's outstanding to see that this man's 48. He's taking care of his body. He still can play at a somewhat semi-pro level. And he's just out there. I think he's out there just to have fun. He's trying to have there's no way he's coming back. He's 48. I mean, he's out there just having fun and seeing what he can do against some younger guys who are not making it into the league. I don't know about you. It's good to see T.O. out there catching footballs. I mean, this is just a good story to hear that T.O.'s out there doing something actually real positive. So, T.O., hats off to you, brother. All right, story number 3, and we got another winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Surprise, a Kentucky man has been awarded $450,000. This is after his colleagues threw him an office birthday parties against his wishes. Kevin Berling, of 29, was working at as a lab technician at Gravity Diagnostics in Covington when his co-workers conducted a lunchtime celebration back in August of 19. Berling said he subsequently suffered a panic attack for the unwanted attention and was soon fired from Gravity Diagnostics, and he later filed for compensation suit against the company, according to legal docs. Managers started giving him a hard time for a response to birthday celebrations, Berling's attorney said, and they accused him of stealing his co-workers' joy. So this is a nut story. How do you get awarded $450,000 because you don't like birthday celebrations? Now, I understand anxiety and panic attacks and all that, and that's all well and good. I mean, we understand that everybody suffers from some type of mental illness, and you've got to power through for it, because if you can't leave the house, then you should not be in a situation where you work with people. I mean, everybody, there's been all types of stuff. Like, as a teacher, the kids celebrate you, your fellow teachers celebrate you, the offices celebrate you, they'll put you on the intercom, all kinds of stuff. I've worked at banks, and that's a big thing, because customers will bring you gifts, and your coworkers and your superiors will bring you gifts and take you out to lunch and stuff like that. If you don't like celebrating birthday, you make that stuff known ahead of time when you come into that interview, like, hey, I have an issue with anxiety or panic attacks, and I don't like being celebrated or put out there and blast. So I don't know about you. As for me, I don't know. I mean, I might probably start doing this and maybe get $500,000 for myself.
Shut your mouth.
What did
You're
you
just
say?
coming off stupid.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Big Z, and that's been news to me. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
We all know that 2020 was no joke, and with an ever-changing world climate, many people are looking for a new opportunity. Guys, are you looking for a career that rewards effort and makes you feel valued as a team member? Let me tell you a little about our friends at ACSI. ACSI is a certified RCN business agent. They provide the same RCN services with a personalized touch. Their sales and technician teams work hand in hand, ensuring your experience will be smooth and pleasant. Gone are the days of being transferred from one person to the next. At ACSI, they handle everything from start to finish. It's never been so easy to get internet service. ACSI is a growing Chicagoland company that encourages personal growth and rewards perseverance. As they expand, they're looking for passionate, responsible, and honest professionals to join their team. A career with ACSI means you'll be part of a hardworking, flexible, and dynamic team that is a leader in the installation of cable and internet services in the Chicagoland area. Best of all, ACSI was awarded Hacia's 2020 Contractor of the Year Award. Are you ready to grow with a local Chicago company on the rise? Check out acsi.tech and click on careers to get started. That's acsi.tech and click on careers.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Yes, sir.
This is The Loop, our Chicago sports roundup where we keep you in the loop.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Oh boy, those Chicago Bulls, they fought valiantly but could not hold off the defending champions. Even though they held them down to 93 points in game one, I don't think it's enough to give them a win in a game, much less a series. Let's be honest, we're still playing the NBA defending champions. They have a very good balanced team with Giannis and Middleton and the person we don't like is Grayson Allen and a whole bunch of characters on there with Bobby Portis and his big old eyes. They're a good team. Now they shot like crap just like the Bulls did, but they still managed to gut out a win. Obviously what we did see was a certain level of physicality that was dealt out to the Bulls, and that's where the Bulls lack. They lack size. They lack that physicality. They don't mix it in there and get dirty. That's one of the problems with the Bulls, that they need a couple more players like that like to get dirty and like to mix it up in the middle, go to the hole and all that stuff. But it pretty much, the game came down to the fourth quarter, and we all know that, you know, when it's the fourth quarter, the Bulls are all about what DeMar's going to do. DeMar's got the ball in his hand, and usually with a single digit deficit, DeMar can handle that, and DeMar can go up there and hit his mid-range, or he can drive and hit the floater, or he can deliver the late game heroics. But DeMar DeRozan did not play well. He did not play well at all. I mean, what did DeRozan do? DeRozan had 18 points for the night and 6 of 25 for shooting. And neither team cracked 100 points. It was very ugly. It was a very ugly game. And let's not even talk about Giannis having 5 fouls and jumping on Patrick Williams' back like he's a parrot up there on his back, and and Williams is a pirate. What the hell kind of call was that? That dude jumped on his back and tried and grabbed that rebound, and there was the foul on Patrick Williams. And I understand that superstars will get a call, but that was a blatant messed up call that I think could have changed the trajectory of the game. If he fouls out, it might give the Bulls a little bit of a lift, a little bit of, all right, cool. When he was out, when Giannis was out, the Bulls held their own. We're able to score more because there's not that rim protector besides Lopez. Him and Big Bird are never seen in the same room. So that was literally their chance to push that game into. That was their chance to steal that game. As a team that's coming in to someone else's home court, you want to steal game one and put that team on their heels. You want to steal that game and say, hey, you know what? We're going to punch you in your face, and guess what? We're also going to take your home field advantage. But I don't see the Bulls doing that. I don't see the Bulls doing that. I know they play tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and I don't see them going out there and being physical. Milwaukee's not going to have a bad shooting night just like they did on this past Sunday. That's just not going to happen again, ladies and gentlemen. There is no way that the Bulls are going to win like that. You also have the Bulls not having your big three scoring all at the same time. You had DeMar DeRozan with 18. Vucevic showed up with a great double-double with 17 rebounds and 24 points. But when dude, I need you on the block. I need you on the block the entire time and get those guys, get Lopez in foul trouble and get Middleton in foul trouble and get Giannis in foul trouble. I need you on the block. I don't need you shooting threes, bro. I don't need you doing that. We have other people that can do that. And I understand it spaces out the floor for DeMar and Zach. But guess what? DeMar and Zach are barely driving into the hole. They're also taking these shots from 17, 20, 30 feet out, and they're missing. I mean, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan with 18 points each is not going to cut it. These guys need to be at the 25 mark each. You need 75 points from your 3 stars. And after that, then your other guys can pitch in with, Kobe White with 12. You have Caruso with 7 and Pat Williams with 5. I really think Pat Williams needs to be involved in the offense more. Right now, I don't think he's being used correctly. As you saw when he played Minnesota, he was running and gunning. He was able to put up over 30 points. So I know that he was playing the end of the bench guys, but at the same time, these are NBA players. I can't play against these guys. Obviously, they'll kick my butt. What I'm saying is you have Patrick Williams, who's got, I'd say 4 tools out of 5 tools talent. He can shoot. He can rebound. He can play pretty good defense. He can shoot the 3. He can shoot his free throws. I mean, I think he's on his way to being a really good player. You also have him defending one of the number 1 guys in Giannis. But what I'm saying is give this man the ball. Give him a set player too. I mean, let him go to work. I mean, he's also really good in a post. Why not? Why not let him ball out? If Vooch is out on the bench, guess what? Give those plays to Patrick Williams. I think there's a lot of standing ISO ball with DeRozan and Levine where you're just dribbling for 15 seconds and then you got to take a bad shot. I really don't like the offense right now. I don't like the way that we're rebounding, and I don't see the Bulls winning the game. I don't see them. I see them getting swept. I don't like what I'm seeing. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now. These guys are not being consistent, and they're waiting, and then they're 15, 20 points down. All right, let's move over to the other team that plays at the Madhouse on Madison, the Chicago Blackhawks. It was at the end of a legendary era for the Blackhawks. Pat Foley, he finally called his final game for the Hawks. He said, "I've worked for a lot of radio and TV stations in this town, but really, you're the people I've been working for here." That's what he told the fans. "It's been my pleasure and my honor to serve the greatest fans in the world," said Foley. The Blackhawks finished out the season versus the Coyotes and the Kings. And I guess what? The real work starts for the rebuilding of this team and its image. I mean, Foley's one of the greats. I think he's been calling games for the Blackhawks for over 30 years. I think he's spent since 2008 on air, but his other years have been on the radio. So he's one of the greats. It's one of those voices that we're not going to hear. And it's one of those childhood voices. If you're a hockey head, if you're a puck head, this is a voice that you identify with because he was on the radio and then he moved over to the TV and he called the championships. Those are great teams, and you're always going to remember his calls. And it's just like losing Harry Carey, and I know people got sick of Hawk Harrison towards the end, but he's also a staple for the White Sox. And you have Harry Carey, a staple for the Cubs. So when you lose those guys that you grew up listening to and watching and just listening to the game and how they call it and their perspective, and they're making it fun. And we're going to definitely miss Pat Foley. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on from the ice to the pitch on the lake. All right, E, your favorite segment where we talk about the Chicago Fire. Oh, yeah. The Chicago Fire and Chicago FC and Galaxy couldn't exert any damage on each other, so this would have been a perfect game for E to fall asleep on because it went to a 0-0 draw this past Saturday evening at Soldier Field. Neither Chicago or LA were credited with a shot on goal on the night, despite some lively moments at either end on the field. The Galaxy appeared to take a 1-0 lead early in the second half on 2 occasions, one through Chicharito Hernandez and the other one with Douglas Costa. They were both negated because they were offsides, so that means they were ahead of the ball when it was passed. All right, little knowledge there for you guys. So if you're not a soccer fan, tough cookies, because you know what? We love soccer here at True Chicago Sports Fans. All right, ultimately, there was nothing to separate the two sides ahead of the U.S. Open Cup third-round matches that are going to play today. So these guys went to a 0-0, and right now they're moving on to their Open Cup challenges, although the Fire are playing on a third round. They will be playing the Union Omaha for the U.S. Cup. And then they'll play this Saturday against Minnesota. So the Fire are currently one of the most successful clubs in the U.S. Open Cup, winning championships in 98, 2000, 2003, and 2006. Yes, I know it's been a while. I know. But we have a pretty good team, and if once they're at full strength, I think that they have a chance to compete for a lot of this stuff. I think they'll be up there in the top echelon for a playoff spot. All right, fans, we'll be right back with 3 up and 3 down after a word from our sponsors.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Hey, this is Mikey O, and you're listening to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast. Don't forget to visit Mikey O at Mikey O Show or www.MikeyOShow.com.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
This is Enrique Calderon coming to you from True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast.
Y te lo dice
Enrique Calderon.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z. This is 3 up and 3 down.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Cubs baseball.
Go, Cubs, go! Go, Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win.
All right. I'm going to take the reins for E this week on Cubs baseball. So, Cubs baseball, just a little over a week into the show, Seiya Suzuki is already collecting his hardware. So far on the young season, Suzuki is hitting 400, slashing 543 and 960 with 4 homers, 2 doubles, 7 ribbies, and 11 RBI. This dude is raking. He's a great pickup for the Cubs. He can. I really think if he stays healthy, he can compete for Rookie of the Year. He's a very smart hitter. You know, he doesn't do too much. If the ball's away, he's going to slap it away, just get the base hit. But if you put it down the pipe, this guy still has the power and a pop in his bat to put it out of the park. And you saw that this past Sunday. So I really enjoy watching Seiya Suzuki. I think he's a really good pickup, and I think he's going to keep winning some hardware over up on the north side. So look out for your boy out there. A couple more notes for the former Cubs. Jake Arrieta has retired. He said on Pardon My Take the podcast, "I haven't signed my papers, but I'm done. It's time for me to step away from the game. At some point, the uniform goes to someone else, and it's just my time, really." Jake had a great career. He was an underdog getting drafted over there by the Orioles, and then when he got traded over to the Cubs, whatever the pitching staff, coaching staff did to fix whatever he was doing, whether it was tipping pitches or his technique or whatever, but they fixed Arrieta and he became one of the Cy Young winners. So Jake Arrieta owns a career record of 115 and 90 with an ERA of 3.93, 1,424 strikeouts in 281 games. Out of those 281, 275 were starts. With Baltimore from 2010 to 2013, the Cubs, Phillies, and then San Diego. Arrieta led the majors in wins and won the National League Cy Young Award in 2015, finishing 22-6 with an ERA of 1.77 and 3 shutouts. He was dominating. In 2015. He is one of the most beloved Cubs. I think he's a really good guy. I would, in his heyday, I would love to have him on my team. But it's time. Sometimes you just, your body's telling you, hey, it's time. I don't have the control. I don't have the passion that I once did. And let's put it this way. Arrieta did a lot for the Cubs. He did a lot for the Cubs, and he will always be remembered for that 2016 season, along with his Cy Young season. The Cubs split the series with the Colorado Rockies. I've been telling everybody that I know that's a Cub fan to slow your roll, and the Cubs will be fine. They're going to be a 500 or above 500 team this year, and just what they did with this series of being a 500 team. They split the series with Colorado, and they've been putting up runs. It's not like they're getting blown out or shut out. If you look at the series with the Cubs and the Rockies, the Cubs took the first game 5-2, then lost 6-5, lost 9-6, and then won 6-4. So they were all competitive games, and I think that the Cubs are leading some categories for hitting and on-base percentage and so forth. They can hit. I mean, they have a lot of talented guys that can actually hit the ball. Yoan Gomes stepped up the other day. You have, like I said, Suzuki, who's taking the cover off the ball. Nick Magico's doing his small thing over there. You got Frank the Tank. You got Patrick Wisdom. You got a lot of guys out there that are doing their thing, and the pitching has been okay. I don't think it's going to hold up for the whole season unless they make some moves to add to it to bolster it. But I don't think they're going to do that anyways. I think the Cubs are going to keep continuing building with blocks, and I've been saying this for a while that they're going to trade their all-star catcher, and they're going to get some acquisitions, whether there's something that can translate to something for next year or for years to come. You're going to look at some of these players being moved to put those building blocks, because I do think that they will be competing within the next 3 years. All right, let's transition over to the South Side with the White Sox.
White Sox, White Sox, go, go, White Sox. Let's go, 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 White Sox. We're with you all the way.
All right, the Chicago White Sox are 6-3 after 9 games with a ton of injuries. They found ways to win games, and winning series is what we've got to do on the South Side to stay afloat while all these injured players are on the mend. All right, some White Sox news. The White Sox right-hander Lance Lynn thinks he is ahead of schedule in his recovery from his right knee surgery. Lynn was pulled in his final start of spring training with this discomfort in his knee. This is one of a series of injuries for the reigning AL Central champions already this season. Yoan Moncada is out with a strained oblique, and it doesn't look like he's going to come back for a little bit. It looks like he is not ready yet. Ace right-hander Lucas Giolito's on the 10-day injured list due to a lower abdominal strain. He might miss one more start. I don't think that's going to be something that's soon. I think he misses one more start just to be on the safe side. You still have relievers Joe Kelly, right bicep nerve injury, the crotch rocket with the left elbow surgery. He's done for the year. You got Ryan Burr, again, right shoulder strain. So, I mean, it's out there. And then you also have, the Yerminator with the fractured left wrist, which is, here or there. I just saw his Instagram, and he's over at the pool hanging out. So, I don't really count on Yermain Mercedes right now, because right now what it looks like, he just had a fluke month, and I don't think that's going to be sustainable coming to help out the team. So the White Sox just finished a series with the Rays and taking that series, and now the Rays move over to play the Cubs. So Cubs, do your job and beat them. Hopefully, thanks a lot. We don't want to see them in the playoffs. But I'm going to take this season in very modest perspective and just looking at what the additions have been. So Rick Hahn has earned his money with this rebuild, and while he hasn't always gotten the big fish free agent, he's plugged holes with players that provide spark. I mean, them picking up AJ Pollock and Josh Harrison. Josh Harrison has been playing great defense, and he's really good on the bases. You have AJ Pollock, who obviously he got the opening day or opening series the ball. He misjudged it, but obviously he's not a right fielder. So, that's neither here or there. Either way, not Joe Creedy. Jesus. Adam Engel should have been out there anyways. But you have guys that are being plugging in. You still got Andrew Vaughn. You've got Kendall Graveman. You've got Reese McGuire, who they acquired for pretty much nothing because the catcher we sent up to Toronto is pretty much garbage. I never liked him. I don't even want to name him because he wasn't even that good with us. But Reese McGuire has been such a bright spot on the defensive end. He's been throwing out runners. His batting average isn't all that great right now, but I do believe that he can actually, be the starting catcher going forward. You're going to have Yasmani Grandal doing a lot of DHing because of Reese McGuire's ability to throw out runners and to be better on the defense, like blocking, those crazy pitches by Liam Hendricks and Giolito and so forth. So Reese McGuire is going to be one of those steal pickups that you're going to talk about at the end of the season for what he's doing. So right now, what we're looking at is that the White Sox are going to play the Cleveland Guardians on the next series, and they're also going to be playing the Minnesota Twinkies, and that's one of the series that I'm really getting up for because the Twins are one of the teams that has improved a lot, picking up Correa and picking up some other pieces. So that's the team that I really am worried about giving a challenge to the White Sox. The Guardians are the Guardians. They have great pitching, but I don't think their hitting is sustainable. So not that I'm overlooking. It's just I think that's a series that's very winnable. Right now it's a 2-game series, and I think that they can easily take both of those games. But the Twins series, and then right after that they got the Royals. So those two series are Central Division games that I'm really, really worried about because the Royals always have the Sox number, and the Twins are always the pesky Twins. So y'all can tell me what y'all think when y'all DM me and text me and Snapchat me what your thoughts are on the White Sox and the Cubs. But you know what? That's what it's for. We're here to talk about it. If you want to disagree with me or agree with me, that's fine with me. I'm here for the conversation. Bring it. We'll discuss it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If you're right, you're right. And I'm probably going to be right and you're probably going to be wrong. But it is what it is. So, all right, fans, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
We all know that 2020 was no joke, and with an ever-changing world climate, many people are looking for a new opportunity. Guys, are you looking for a career that rewards effort and makes you feel valued as a team member? Let me tell you a little about our friends at ACSI. ACSI is a certified RCN business agent. They provide the same RCN services with a personalized touch. Their sales and technician teams work hand in hand, ensuring your experience will be smooth and pleasant. Gone are the days of being transferred from one person to the next. At ACSI, they handle everything from start to finish. It's never been so easy to get internet service. ACSI is a growing Chicagoland company that encourages personal growth and rewards perseverance. As they expand, they're looking for passionate, responsible, and honest professionals to join their team. A career with ACSI means you'll be part of a hardworking, flexible, and dynamic team that is a leader in the installation of cable and internet services in the Chicagoland area. Best of all, ACSI was awarded Hacia's 2020 Contractor of the Year Award. Are you ready to grow with a local Chicago company on the rise? Check out acsi.tech and click on careers to get started. That's acsi.tech and click on careers.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fans with E-Rock and Big Z. It's that time again, people. You know what time it is. It's time for Stirring the Pot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, since I don't have anybody to argue with, I'm going to shoot this out to there into the TCSF universe, and I'm going to propose a question. You know, we just had Easter, and I want to talk about Easter food. Everybody has their traditions. You know, we're all different cultures and different backgrounds, and some people eat this and some people eat that. So, you know, I come from a Latin culture, and you know what? I have a couple of suggestions. Give them a shot. But what is your favorite Easter food? Some of you guys, are you eating turkey again? Are you if it's nice enough, are you grilling? What's going on? For me, in my family, my culture, we probably have, there's two staples, and one is going to be tamales. I know. We have tamales all the time. Believe me. We have tamales. And then the other one is pozole, the white hominy, and it's a soup. And it has, you can either make it with beef or chicken. And there's different color variations. There's red, and there's green, and there's clear, with no color, whatever, no chile in it. So those are the two things. And I love having pozole. I love chicken pozole. Shout out to Otto at Estrella Negra for their great pozole. I'm gonna go hit you guys up in a little bit. But for me, that's for me. It's got to be the pozole. It's filling. It's good. You know, you can put as much chile to make it as spicy as you want. You have your tostadas or your chips. You know, you put them with sour cream, and you know, you just eat those. It's very eatable food, very something simple. It's a soup, but who doesn't like a soup? I mean, you must be a weirdo if you don't like soup. And then tamales, like, you know, the red, the green. You have the chicken, you have the pork. And if you're lucky enough, you can pick up some sweet ones, you know, some coconuts and strawberry ones or whatever, you know. Just find something that appetizes you, or that catches your palate, your palate, your tongue palate. So, I mean, y'all can argue with me, but I think that's where the spot's at. I don't know what typical Easter food is. Let's see what it is. All right, so I looked up what is a traditional Easter dinner. This includes ham, and then side dishes, and I'll get to those in a bit, salad, and of course desserts, right? So you're looking ham, bean soup, homemade macaroni and cheese, ham fried rice, slow cooker spit pea soup. I'm not about to eat no pea soup at all. No way in hell. Apple, ham, and cheddar sandwiches. What is that? And then slow cooker red beans and rice. I don't know, people. There's some weird stuff out there, but you know, whatever floats your boat, whatever is in your oven or on your stove, hey, go for it. It doesn't bother me one bit. I'll give it a taste, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you I don't like it, and that's completely fine. But I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I've seen the ham. So for us, it'd be like ham and arroz con gandules. I mean, I've had ribs. I've had all types of stuff. I mean, I don't think there's a perfect dinner out there that it is what it is. It's whatever you guys want to cook on that day, whatever you find delicious and want to bring to the table. So for those that celebrated Easter and Passover, happy Easter and happy Passover. All right. Before we go, what are we watching? All right. So I was lucky enough to watch the new Batman, and all I can say is wow. I was very skeptical coming into watching the movie. I knew it was 3 hours long. I knew it would be an endeavor, and at some points it did feel long. It did. I think that like 2 times, like I was like, okay, let me try to sit up and pay attention. The Batman with Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz and Colin Farrell and is it Jeffrey Wright? Awesome cast. Awesome cast. And I mean, hopefully you've seen it by now, and you haven't, it's on HBO Go for the next month, or HBO Now, whatever it is. It is a phenomenal movie. And people said it was really dark. I don't think it was it's obviously shot mostly at night. But I don't think it was dark. There's a lot of shots of Chicago, the Thompson Center, the L, a couple of you had like a couple of the bridges. There's a lot of Chicago shots, and they're beautiful how they incorporated those in. As far as the acting was phenomenal. The story is what really got me. It was literally you're looking at Batman at a young age of being the Cape Crusader. So there's no like real introduction like in Batman Begins. You're looking at a guy who's already fighting crime, and he's been doing it for a couple years. The story is great. His interaction with Catwoman or Selena Kyle is great. They have great chemistry together. Him and Jeffrey Wright, I think, him being he's Commissioner Gordon or Lieutenant Gordon, whatever it is at this point in the movie, was great because they are literally trying to solve a crime. So it's more like a comic book that you're watching on screen as far as the let's try to figure out how the Riddler's doing this and try to figure out all the riddles to stop these murders that are going on. There's points in the movie where you're like, oh, okay, it's going to conclude pretty soon, and then it's not. And that's the part that feels a little long. You thought the movie was over at certain points, and then it just continues to go on because there's the Riddler's job is not done yet. I've seen all the extra stuff that is added on there, so the extra clips of how they shot the movie and how they integrated CGI and how they used the different type of camera angles and different tricks and so forth. And then also saw a couple of the interviews. I'm a nerd like that when it comes to Batman and to DC and Marvel movies. I need to know as much information as possible because you're probably gonna see an Easter egg later on. I'm gonna have to rewatch it for the Easter eggs because I was really watching for the dialogue and the story. But this is a very good movie. I recommend it. I would say it's an 8.5 out of 10. I don't think there's a movie that's perfect, but this is a definitely movie, a must-watch movie. I really thought that the everybody knows that the scene with the Jokers it was cut from the movie, but I really thought that should have been left in because it introduces the Joker for the new, I guess for the sequel that would be they'll go into. Yeah, I think the Joker, the actor who played the Joker and his interpretation, and then you guys can, if you're a comic book nerd, you can figure out what interpretation that is. I think he did a phenomenal job, and if you look at the clip, I think it's about 4 or 5 minutes, and it's him and Robert Pattinson just talking back and forth, and it's a really smart conversation, and it actually ties into the story with the Riddler. So I really urged you to watch that clip, but I also really think that should have been left in. All right, guys, it's that time. I know it's a shorter show because I have no one to argue with, but that is all for today. Thank you for listening. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Great Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to greatclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at checkout for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Get your shirts now. Big shout out to Coco for the fade this morning. Thank you. You did an amazing job. There's nothing like supporting your friends and watching them prosper. But so Coco, thanks for the amazing fade. Thank you. And don't forget to visit our guy, Danny and friends at acsi.tech and check out their career section to start a new exciting career in the communications industry. Go to acsi.tech, that's acsi.tech, and click on careers to apply today and get your 2022 started off right. Don't forget to check out Enrique Calderon's new single, out now, Entre Dos Rios. Check him out on YouTube and all of your streaming platforms. Listen. He's got great music. He's got a bachata song in English that's amazing. He's got a couple covers up there. He does amazing music. Don't forget to check out the Shy Native radio podcast, now available on all major platforms. Mike Logic, Ideal, and Throw MC talk about sports, movies, and all types of ill Yeah, I'm trying not to swear. Check them out now. Don't sleep on Mike Logic's album. As I was saying, it's available now. Check out MikeLogic.bandcamp.com to get your copy today. And the brand new music video for a single solo is available to watch on YouTube. Support your friends, support your entrepreneur friends, support your music friends, support people that are doing things around you. Shout out to Ronesh, Panic, Serious Beats, and Custom Made for the beats we played on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for your moment, merch, and gear. Don't forget to check us out and add us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at TrueShyFans and on TikTok as well. Find us on Facebook, IG, Spotify. Reach out to us at our email. We want to hear from you. Your stirring the pot stories, your crazy stories for Big Three. If you want to argue with us, hey, we'll talk about it on air. Reach us at TrueChicagoSportsFans@gmail.com. All right, this is Big Z for E-Rock. We'll see you next week for episode 93. Until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real.
Shut your mouth.
Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos.
Show's over, show's over, show's over.